Greetings, grade 8 students. This video has the purpose of showing you how to start a new project in Bandlab, how to access the digital audio workstation feature of it, and a few things, a few options that you have once that you start your project. So let's get started. The first thing is to click here on the create button that you have in the top right part of your screen. Once that you click there, it takes you here. It gives you these options to create a new track to start working with. I'm going to try and explain each of them briefly. So you have the instruments and drum machine are like instruments that come already preloaded in the digital audio workstation. And for those to operate, you have to type on the letter um, on the letter keys that you have in your computer keyboard. Pretty similar to what you will do on a music keyboard, but with your computer keyboard. You can also record from the built-in mic from your computer, or you can also connect a guitar or a bass into your computer and use the digital audio workstation as an amplifier. You can also import audio, but the most important that we're going to use right now is to browse loops. This is the one that is going to be the most prominent for us right now. So we're going to click here on browse loops, and it's going to take you to this view. Okay, so let me show you what happens here. As you already know, loops are short clips of music that are meant to be repeated the number of times that you need them, and they will always make sense, doesn't matter how many times you repeat them. Here, this is the loop browser, which you can access down here in the bottom right part. You have all of these options. You can add your lyrics, for example, or add notes to your project. You can add collaborators, which I'm going to explain later on. You can do MIDI mapping, which right now is not very useful for you because you're not going to be using MIDI. And like I said, here you have the loops browser. The loops, you have them in this view, you have them organized by style. You can have like turbo trap, retro, city pop, neo soul, rave, roots and dub, ambient, downstep, experimental atmospheres, etc., etc., etc. You can also select here in all loops, and regardless of the style, you have them here organized by genres and by instrument. So this is also very flexible because let's say that, for example, you want to start working in hip hop, you select here hip hop, and it also gives you these other options that are, let's say, compatible with hip hop. And you can select here the instrument that you want to use. These are the ones that are available for hip hop. In this case, let's say that I want to start with a drum. I select here on my drums, and then when I start scrolling down, here I have all of the different drums options or drum loops that I have for hip hop. So here, if you click on any of them, it will give you an example of how they sound like. For example, let's see this one, the Turbo Trap Drum 6. Okay, there you can hear it. It will continue playing endlessly until you tell it to stop. So you can do that just by clicking here in this icon that you have here on the left. Click there and it stops. Okay. Okay, so let's see that I like that Turbo Trap Drum 6. So I'm going to drag it and drop it here where it says drop a loop or an audio file. And there you have. And here I'm going to explain something very important. Okay. When you do this, you have to make sure that you align your loop with the beginning of each of these sections that you have over here at the top. These numbers that you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so forth, these are the bars. And look that inside, notice that inside each of them you have some subdivisions which correspond to the beats that you have inside each of that bar. So this will be, for example, bar number 7, there's the first line that you have here in the 7, this will be beat number 1, this will be beat number 2, beat number 3, beat number 4, this will be beat number 1 of bar number 8, beat number 2, beat number 3, beat number 4, etc., etc. Why is this important? Because all of these loops that you have here were recorded and designed to be dropped always in beat number 1 of any bar that is necessary. So every time that you add a loop, you have to make sure that you align it with the very first beat of the bar that you want to drop it at. Okay, so avoid doing things like this. You see, here it is on bit number 2 of bar number 4. Here it is on bit number 3 of bar number 5. Here it is on bit number 4 of bar number 6. And even here is in between beats. Okay, all of those are wrong. You always have to try and align it to bit number 1, to the very beginning of each of the bars. So with that said, I'm going to drop this one here to the beginning, to number 1, and I'm going to extend it as a loop. You have two options to extend it. The right way of doing it is to go to the top right part of the loop. You click in there and you just extend it for as much as you need it. Okay? If you by any chance do it from the bottom, this is what happens. Notice that you don't have any sound anymore here. Okay, it will only sound here until here, and then you won't have anything else. So be careful with that. When you want to extend it and keep it continuously as a loop, do it from the top right corner, from here. And there you have it. Okay? All right, so I already have my drums. Let's say that I want to add another instrument. So I unselect the drums, and now I'm going to select the keyboards because now I want some keyboards. And let's see, I am going to go to the key writer keys 3. Let's see how this one sounds. Okay, let's say that I like it. I'm gonna then drag and drop it here, and there I have it. Okay, and let's say that I wanted to start here on bar number 5 because I want an introduction of only the drums, and this is wrong, you see, because it's not aligned with the beginning of bar number 5. This is in bit number 2. I want it in bit number 1, just like this. And now the result will be the following. And there you have it. Okay, so another important thing to consider is that when you start dropping different instruments, and you always use a new track for different instruments. If you use the drums here, use this track only for drums. If you use keys here, use this track only for keys. Avoid doing things like this. For example, you see, it even classifies them in different colors, so you're careful with that. Don't do this because here you have a drum and here you have a keys. It's two different instruments. They should be in two different tracks, just like this, so you can work organizedly. Also, as you start adding effects and you start adding different parameters to each of the tracks, they're going to affect the different instruments in different ways. So it's better to keep one track for a different kind of instrument every time. Okay, so once you have your session already done, once you have all of your instruments and you have your music already done according to your specifications, you're going to give it a name. So you go up here in the center, in the top center where it says new project, you just click there, erase that, and you add the name that you want. I'm gonna name this one Hip Hop Project number 2 because I already have another hip hop project there. There you go, click enter or click somewhere else, and there you have it. It's already named. After that, you save it. You click here on save in the top right part of the screen, and there you have it. And once it is already saved, then you're going to go down here to the bottom right where it says collaborators. You're going to click there, okay? And you're going to invite me as a collaborator. So that way I can take a look at your digital audio workstation, at your project, and see how did you work. So I can see what features did you have, how did you organize your session, and this is the way that I am going to be giving you feedback and also grading these projects that you're going to submit. So you do that by going here to these three dots that you have here at the top of this collaboration chat that you have. You click in there, and in the top it says invite collaborators. You click there, takes you here, and you're going to invite me using my school email. You go to hmoitoro at qadoha.org. Okay, hmoitoro at qadoha.org. All right, send the invite, and that is how you invite me to your project. Okay, send invite, and there you have it, invitation sent. Okay, you close that, and that is all you need to know by now. See you next time.